At this point, if Trump made a batch of Kool-Aid straight out of Jonestown, Charlie Kirk would only ask if the secret ingredient was genuine Trump piss before even considering drinking it.
A wise guy, eh?
Salutations, fellow nerds. I'm Rick Y, and today is July 13th, 2025. I started this channel with a few simple hypotheses, and one of them still remains intact. If Trump were going to face any serious backlash, it wouldn't come from progressive voters. It would come from scorned MAGA supporters. After all, they're the ones who put him in power, and his campaign has never really cared about what the opposition thinks anyway. If anything, this stopped being a political movement a long time ago. It's a passionate and angry cult of personality. And that passion has been fueled by conspiracy theories and toxic masculinity. One of the loudest voices on that stage is Toilet Paper USA's sentient forehead, Charlie Kirk. Kirk has long positioned the Epstein documents as a litmus test for accountability and transparency in the MAGA movement. He's publicly challenged the Trump administration's handling of the files, both on his show and in broader media, framing them as a critical point. For over a decade, this narrative dominated MAGA spaces and the QAnon underworld, a secret cabal of elitists that ran a deep state hiding unspeakable crimes. It got so extreme that one man stormed a pizza parlor with a gun, demanding to see the basement where he believed a child trafficking ring was located. The building didn't even have a basement, but that didn't stop them. They convinced themselves that Trump was the one who could just expose it all, despite the fact that he embodied the very elitism that they claimed to fight. Somehow they believed he was different. Some even insisted that Trump was using what's called gematria, an ancient numerological system where letters are assigned numeric values and compared to other words with the same number to find some hidden meanings. Think of it like astrology, except less credible because at least you can see the stars. You don't have to rely on someone looking into a puddle to tell you what they think the stars mean. Honestly, I think a bunch of them just watched Darren Aronofsky's Pi and mistook it for a documentary. Y'all saw that Covfefe tweet? You laugh, but he was trying to tell us the truth. There really is a movie where Sinbad played a genie, and it's in Area 51 right now. And the Berenstein Bears, that's right, that's not even their real name. And they're Mossad agents. The delusion persisted for a decade. I know because I was here. I seen it. But now, there's a fracture. After years of buildup about the Epstein files, Attorney General Pam Bondi recently claimed they never existed. And Trump? He followed with this. What's going on with my boys, and in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job! We're on one team. MAGA! And I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein, over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration, who conned the world with Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton and Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? So let's track this narrative whiplash. First, the files expose Democrats. Then, we'll release them to reveal the deep state. Followed by a lot of phony stuff's in there. We don't really want to do that. Then it's, they're with the Attorney General. Then, they've been shared with conservative influencers in secret squirrel binders. And finally, they never existed. And now we're back to blaming Obama. It's just like every other criticism of Trump, a fabricated hoax, while somehow everyone else on Earth is a corrupt criminal. The MAGA media machine has spent years programming their base to see through imaginary conspiracies with dot-connecting logic that requires no evidence. Now that Trump is shifting the narrative, they're caught between loyalty to him and the very worldview they've been selling. And that puts them kind of in a corner. Either Trump is part of the very deep state cabal that they've warned about, or the entire cabal theory was nonsense. You can't have it both ways. My opinion is, yeah, there probably is some form of Epstein files, and Trump's name is likely in them, but I doubt they're the bombshell many hope for. What matters is this. I do not and cannot know for certain what's in them, and neither can you. Anyone who says otherwise is lying. They're relying on that common sense as a substitute for evidence. But that's not intelligence, that's wish casting. We need to be comfortable with saying, I don't know. Because now MAGA is seething. Why? Because this thing that they were just so sure about has suddenly been memory hold. For argument's sake, let's just say, purely hypothetically, the files prove that Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were the only ones involved, nothing more. How do you explain that to people trained to believe that they alone see the truth, that everyone else is lying or part of some shadowy plot? You can't. You built an army of critical thinkers who don't need facts, just vibes. And now that vibe is betrayal. Sure, some loyalists will turn on a dime and repeat whatever Trump says. But for others, this could be a break. And ironically, they're now demanding the very transparency they spent years mocking liberals for asking. So welcome to Camp Libtard, folks. You don't know it yet, but you're about to be alienated and cast aside as wackos. Trump is a transactional ape. He takes, he uses, and when he's done, he discards. And now that Project 2025 is underway and he has his second term, he's gotten what he wanted. People like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel will turn their backs on you. Why? Because they never loved you. They used you, and you let them. You gave them your principles, your money, your family, and sometimes your religion. Unless you now choose to toe the line and abandon everything you once stood for in the name of thinking for the children. So, what's it going to be? Either the deep state never existed and you all were clowns, or you stand by your principles and admit Trump was always part of the problem. Because he was Epstein's best friend. And if he was being manipulated and a part of the deep state then, when exactly did it stop? It didn't. He was always a part of it.
We have just lost cabin pressure.
You told us Trump could save us because he knew how the system worked. He could dismantle it from within.
Do people think that I'm you?
I think you know.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Why would anyone possibly confuse you with me?
I don't know.
You got it.
No.
Do not fuck with us!
Say it.
Because
Say it.
we're the same person.
That's right.
We are the all singing, all dancing crap. I don't understand this.
You were looking for a way to change your life. You could not do this on your own. All the ways you wish you could be, that's me. I look like you want to look. I fuck like you want to fuck. I am smart, capable, and most importantly, I'm free in all the ways that you are not.
I hope those of you waking up to this can mend some bridges. It's going to take some work and accountability. Because most of you still don't know what Project 2025 is doing, or how Trump's ICE policies have devastated families, or how this tariff system is going to slam your wallets. But that pain is definitely coming. And if history teaches us anything, it's this. Hell hath no fury like a partisan scorned. If you dig the content, consider liking and subscribing. Y'all come back now. You hear?